So how did a two-time cancer survivor do with COVID? What's going on? My wife and I, we recently tested positive for COVID, and I gotta be honest, I was concerned. Man, you hear all the stories out there now. There's a huge success rate, and you're hoping, when you do find out you test positive, you're hopeful that you're one of those success rates because you've heard some crazy stuff. Now, being a two-time cancer survivor, I've been cancer-free since 2005, but still, weakened immune system. I've been trying to, last 2 years, live a healthier lifestyle, build that immune system, lose weight, get healthier. I think that definitely helped, but I was concerned. And so when my wife started feeling bad, it was on a Wednesday-ish, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then that Friday, Saturday, I started kind of feeling sluggish. And when I say feel bad, it's like a dry cough, dry congestion. It wasn't a runny nose. My wife had the runny nose, but it was like a dry congestion that caused my back of my throat to be a little sore and then my stomach to be just a little upset. So, our church services are on Saturday night. We decided to watch online that week and not risk anything. And then on Monday, we went and got tested. And I get tested weekly anyway to go visit my mom at the senior center. I normally go on Tuesdays. I have to show them, negative test results to be able to go visit. But we went on Monday, and normally it takes 2 to 3 days to get the results back. I got my results back in a day, um, which I knew something was up when I saw it come through. I was like, oh wow, as fast as I ever got them. And sure enough, man, it was positive. My wife didn't get hers back for like another day or two, but we kind of already knew what to expect. So we were already, taking precautions and quarantining, staying in the house, and make sure we're stocked up on supplies, etc., and just get ready to go through it. I felt really weak, just really weak, yucky, cruddy. I was asked every day, how you feeling? How you feeling? Well, some days I felt a little better, and then the next day would be worse, and the next day better, next day worse. But it was always a yucky, cruddy feeling. It was nothing that would, under normal circumstances, prevent me from going to work. Yeah, I felt bad. Yeah, I'd rather just sleep, but I'd work through it. Now, since we are in a pandemic, you don't want to, spread the virus. We obviously stayed home. And, I was supposed to visit my mom on that Monday. I went and got tested. I'm so glad I didn't do it. I'm glad we didn't go to church on Saturday. You just think back, it's like, oh, wow, we could have exposed quite a few people, but fortunately, we didn't. Now, the day I found out, I don't know if this is a head game or what, but the day I found out I was positive, it was on Tuesday. That night, I had the aches and chills, and it kind of went into Wednesday morning. That was the worst part. I had sore muscles the whole time. I mean, it was hard to get up and out of the chair, couch, bed. Maybe that was partly due to not moving around as much, not being as active as much, being stuck in the house. But it was muscle soreness. I did double up on my sulfur. That seemed to help. And I took a lot of the electrolytes, the keto chow electrolytes. That seemed to help with cramps. But for the most part, it was just like a cold, like a dry congestion, dry cold. Again, I had a little bit of stomach ache. I never had the runny nose. I never lost my taste and smell. My wife did. So when we found out, we were positive, it's like, okay, what do we do? What's the best way to combat this? And my wife being a nurse, she already knew a lot of ways to battle this. So we did some more research online, and everyone responds differently, reacts differently. I get that. But what was consistent was number one, get plenty of rest. Well, that wasn't an issue. We were staying at home, felt yucky, we were getting plenty of rest. But get plenty of rest. Number two was to stay hydrated. And so I was drinking extra water, and again, I was adding the keto chow electrolytes to that water. Number three was, get plenty of nutrients in your system. And I think, being mostly carnivore, I'm still not 100%, but being mostly carnivore, I think that gave me an advantage because I'm eating mostly nutrient-dense foods. I'm waking up in the morning and having my eggs, and then for lunch I usually eat ground beef. For dinner I usually make a steak. I'm not fasting yet. I still haven't got back into the 100% swing of carnivore since the wedding. We had the wedding, then we had the holidays, and now we got COVID, and so definitely past time to get back at it. I'd say I'm about 80% carnivore. The other 20%, unfortunately, is not. Fruits and vegetables is the stuff I shouldn't be eating. The processed carbs, the sodas, the donuts, the cake, ice cream. Yeah, I'm guilty. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches is when you're feeling yucky at home, you want something quick and easy. And I found myself making some PBJs from time to time, probably way too often. That's the stuff we need to stay away from. I've shared this before. If you eat natural, you eat healthy, it's really not a diet's a lifestyle. Where we get hung up is on these restricted diets, and it's more of a lifestyle change. It's eating way more natural foods than the junk. We shouldn't be drinking the sodas or the processed carbs, the sugars. Sugar is highly addictive. I have a really bad sugar addiction, and if I don't watch myself, man, I get right back on that kick. And so, but doing those three things really helped. Some people say they feel better after 14 days. I'd say for me, it's probably closer to 16. And again, I want to say it's nothing that would have prevented me from getting out and working. I mean, yeah, quarantine, but because of being positive COVID. But I just felt yucky and weak. And even after I tested negative, which was 2 weeks later, tested negative, I was just really weak. I'd go back to work, and I'd fall asleep early that night, and I'd get like 9-10 hours sleep. I never do that. I'm lucky. I try to get 7 every night. Most often than not, I get between 6 and 7. But when I went back to work, I went back on a Wednesdays when I found out I was negative. I kind of worked half of a Wednesday, but when I went back that Thursday, whew, man, I slept good that night, and then Friday I slept good that night too. Then I had a couple days off. Now I'm just now getting my strength back. But people ask me all the time, how you feeling today? How you feeling today? It's hard to answer that because again, it's just like a yucky, cruddy feeling that varies, from day to day. So I hope you found this information valuable. I'm glad that my wife and I didn't have it worse than we did. I think that her stint was a little harder. She had those migraines, really bad migraines. She did lose her taste and smell. Yes, the runny nose, the more drainage, upset stomachs. But she's back at work. She tested negative. She's feeling fine too. So we're good. It's just we went through it. I do feel fortunate that it wasn't worse, but I don't wish it on anyone. If you had, I'd love to hear your experience. How did it go? I hope you're feeling better. If you haven't had it, I hope you don't get it. But if you do, hey, rest, hydrate, get your nutrients. I'm past due for going back, getting back on track for my healthier lifestyle. I started off at 340. I got down to 248 when I left to go get married. I didn't come back at 248. It's pretty embarrassing how fast I can put the weight back on. And then, we were right into the holidays right after we got married, and then into COVID. So I need to get back off this weight I gained and get back on my target. I was trying to get down to 240. Well, I want to get down to 230, maybe even 220. It's time to hit it and hit it hard. I want to get right back on carnivore. I might tweak a little bit, Ketovore. If you haven't heard of Carnivore and you're interested, we do have the Carnivore Survival Guide. There'll be a link below. Just a basic guide, get you going. It's pretty much what I do because I like to keep it simple. I'll wake up in the morning. Right now I'm not fasting. I'll have my eggs. For lunch I do about a pound and a quarter of ground beef. And then for dinner I'll make a steak on the grill. I love steaks, man, So I do mostly ribeyes. I do some strip loins. Sirloins are good. Mostly ribeyes if I can find a good deal. It's hard when you're trying to eat a 16-ounce steak and they're $10 or $11 a pound. It makes it a little hard on the wallet. So I look for really good deals. Try to find them for $5.99, $6.99 a pound, and then it's a little bit easier to manage. Other than that, I'll do ground beef twice a day, which, I mix it up by different seasonings. But the Carnivore Survival Guide, there'll be a link to below for that. If you're wanting something more detailed, Caitlin and Ellen Weeks, they did a 30-day carnivore diet challenge. It does cost, but it's well worth it. It does have shopping list, recipes, meal plans. It's a huge book with lots of knowledge in it. Definitely worth it. There'll be a link below to that too. If it's your first time hearing about the meat only diet, I'll put a link right here, and you can check out that video I did on meat only diet. It kind of goes in more depth. Until next time, God bless and keep grilling.